Welcome to Drams from Dividends.
Drams from Dividends. I got a little Bowmore going. What do you guys got?
Black Label.
Oh, you're back on the Black Label. I'm back
Nice.
on the Royal
Oh,
Luxembourg.
You still have Royal Lochnagar. Nice.
Wow. It's impressive.
So what are we talking about, boys?
Well, okay. So the reason I texted you guys this earlier was because it came to my attention, passed on through the media, the grapevine that is my life with two podcasts, that there's I guess you'd call it a fintech in Canada called #investing.
Don't ever give them the tag of a fintech. This is the dumbest thing on the face of the planet. I'd love to talk to the CEO. You're an idiot. It is the stupidest thing I've ever heard of.
Okay,
It might be the dumbest thing on the internet.
Whoa.
There's a lot of
Just
stuff
pump
on the
the
internet.
brakes. Pump the brakes a little bit there. Pump the
No,
brakes. okay?
I'm upset about it. It's actually so bad that it upsets me.
First, what is it?
Yeah, okay. Let's just okay. I don't know. But the impression I got from the little bit of looking that I did at it, it's a Canadian company that started. The idea is to have good conversations about picking stocks, about investing within a community of people that wants to share like-minded ideas and create that kind of community atmosphere towards stock picking. So that to me is what the #investing platform is about. Okay. And I don't know, I've never used it and I can't speak to it whatsoever. But the funny thing is I texted the accountant about this. And clearly you went off on another rabbit hole down the Twitter hashtag.
I went down so many rabbit holes.
Like your texts back were hilarious because you are lit up about this.
Oh, first of all, just on the specific #investing website, it's essentially getting you to pay for a Slack channel where you're in with a bunch of other idiots making stock picks. They're not providing a service.
We don't know if they're idiots. We don't know if they're idiots.
Fine. I don't know if they're idiots. They're idiots.
Probably about 80% of them are.
Right. And it's not like they're giving you any data. It's not like they're giving you any stock screening information. It's not proper analysts. They're peddling a social media platform as professional stock information that you have to pay for. It's stupid. It's immoral. It should be illegal.
Okay, well, hey, good opinion. Now, we can just take a step back from that platform itself. This exists in entirety all over the place already. If you do any kind of Google on this, there's all sorts of these discussion groups already. And because I'm active on Facebook,
but at least you don't pay for them.
Right.
Fair. Let me finish. So the two that I'm active on Facebook are Canadian Dividend Investing and Canadian DIY Stock Investing. And
What's the monthly subscription?
not free.
Oh, so you don't pay for it?
No, okay. Of course not. I wouldn't pay for that. I talk with you, Jack Wagons. I don't have to pay for that. But okay, so let's get back to the point here. Social media influenced investing. That's kind of what our topic is. And the question is, should you be spending any time on social media from whatever form it is and taking any kind of investment opinions from there? That's our question for this Drams from Dividends, I think.
I mean, this is where the pump and dumps happen now, right? It's on social media.
Absolutely.
We all know how influential it is. Look at Wall Street Bets and the whole GameStop fiasco and the short squeeze and everything. We know this happens, right? My biggest problem is, well, I can agree with you that paying a subscription for something isn't a great idea. I did find out how much #investing costs, and it's actually a very, very nominal fee because I thought it'd be like a monthly subscription, and I'd be, from an FI perspective right away, I'd be like, what? I'm going to throw money away to listen to other Jack Wagons every month. But the point is I think our opinions and our thought process being skewed by social media, right? Because we're all subject to the influence of our peers, whether we like it or not. You can say that you aren't, but you probably are. And because there's so much out there, people they haven't taken the steps to educate themselves to how to pick a stock in the first place.
Well, that's my problem. It's all an echo chamber, right? Because I mean, okay, you probably have some dividend investors on your Twitter chain. So how much do you hear about Bell and right? Like
it comes back to, there's a whole bunch of really dumb people and there's also some really smart people, but you need to synthesize data and actually do your own research and look after it and think about what people are saying. And like, the first time I saw something from Mark Seed, for instance, I had no idea who he was. I read it. I said, that makes sense, but I don't know who this guy is. You know, you go synthesize more and more data, and the more you get to know, and I mean, we've talked to Mark personally. I understand he's a smart guy. I trust his opinion. It's a lot different than like, well, hashtag nutty kitty or whatever the hell his name is like, these people don't know what they're doing. I mean, I saw one of the guys today who was like, oh yeah, this has been a really bad market correction.
What correction?
What correction? A correction is defined as a 10% drop in prices. You literally saw a couple red days, and there are people that are so novice in this, they think that's a correction.
Well, what was the other guy? Somebody had a 5% return so far this year and was upset.
It's so upset. This year's returns have been terrible. I have a 5% return. So if you have a 5% return 3 months into the year, and you continue that for the rest of the year, you'd have a 20% return on the year. That's an insanely good return.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the fact that you think it's a bad return says things aren't going to go well for you in the long run.
Well, okay, that comes down to it. Okay. You hit the nail on the head a little bit there, because on our full episodes of the podcast, we generally focus on globally diversified index ETF style investing with a little bit of blend. We all like, the Economist likes his little flyers account. You and I are guilty of that too, but we also mix in some solid high quality dividend stocks. And, you know, we're all, this is just our opinion for sure, but that is the thing, is so is any social media platform that you use, whether it's on Facebook, Twitter, a paid subscription, whatever it is. Those are just people's opinions. And you said it, you don't know what the value of their analysis is.
You know, I want to take that one step further. Even when you're getting advice that you pay for, that's still just somebody's opinion.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah. I mean, how many times have we read the articles or heard it said that, you know, an active fund doesn't necessarily outperform over the long run because, hey, none of us can predict the future.
No.
So if you're just on a social media channel and all of a sudden everybody's talking about a particular stock, that doesn't mean you should be in it. Just because the herd mentality is in it doesn't mean you should.
Okay, but if you're looking for a flyer, maybe because there's a lot of activity on one specific stock, sometimes when there's smoke, there's fire, right?
Well, that's fair. But then know that you're speculating, not investing.
Absolutely. 100% it would be a speculation.
And that's what this is one of my biggest problems with this. The whole thing is that you're getting inexperienced people that think that they've seen quick gains in certain situations, you know, whether it's crypto, or crypto's terrible for this too, right? It's like, just because you've seen some quick gains, you can't necessarily replicate that. And you can't have any expectation that just because your group of 1,000 people are in the same echo chamber as you, that it's going to work out, right?
Well, and that's, you guys have brought it up a couple times, as the echo chamber factor. And it's an important one. If you're only reading and listening to people that agree with you, you're not getting good information. Go find people that disagree with you, read why they disagree with you, and synthesize that data. You can, if everybody always just agrees, it's just a huge pack of blind people walking off a cliff.
I mean, I agree with the accountant.
I disagree. I have to disagree now. No, actually, it's something interesting that, you know, the three of us, because we have all these discussions on the podcast and on Drams or Dividends, is a lot of times we do agree, but because I think we think through the same process to get to our solutions.
Well, that and people aren't in our group text message conversation where we all yell at each other.
Right. That is very true.
But one of the things that I really like, I'd like to remember who said it, but it's a bit of a quote that says, you know, you should be educated enough to argue both sides of a point really well.
Yeah.
That means you actually understand it, right?
I just thought of a great business idea. We should have a paid subscription service where we just post the three-way chat where we yell at each other all day about investing ideas.
You get to look in on our text.
Yeah, you get to be the fly on the wall listening to us be idiots all day.
Yeah. Why would they do that? They just come on YouTube and watch us being idiots.
Because it's constant. It's not just once a week for 15 minutes on YouTube.
But the thing is, speaking of constant, is like the Facebook groups I mentioned. It's all over Twitter. Like, my goodness, you look on Twitter, you can find information about any stock or any investing strategy, anything you want. It's all over Reddit. I'm not a Reddit follower, but it is so pervasive now in Instagram. Holy crap. Like, every Instagram post is some sort of picture of investing ideas and all the rest of it. And it's like, you almost, it's overload of superfluous garbage.
Yeah. And it probably drives some fear of missing out too, right?
Big time.
All my friends are investing in this. I better too.
I better buy GME at 350. That's a great call.
Well, we can beat this one to death, boys. I know you guys don't spend a whole lot of time on social media, and good on you for that. I do get involved. And no, to be fair, not that I'm promoting anything, but there are good discussions out there, and there are good groups of people. And there's also people that over time, I've noticed, I recognize the names. I know they're doing good due diligence. So when they say something, I'm not going to take it, at face value, but it's going to be enough for me to go, okay, I'm going to go and do my own learning about that. I'm going to go read about that. I'm going to go do my own due diligence. Maybe there's something there. Maybe there isn't.
Well, even the people I respect, I still look to research what they're talking about.
Yeah.
Like, we all screw up sometimes. Just because I said something was like, what if I did my math wrong? What if I've got my blinders on and I didn't see something that you see from a different angle? Like, you have to do your own research.
Yeah. So the answer to the question is, what's the answer to the question?
I was going to say, unless you're just going like blanket broad-based index funds all day. That one, you know what? If you don't want to be involved in this at all and you don't want to think,
easy solution, right?
Yeah.
Well, okay. To this point, to finish off this little quick hit, is a couple of, very successful FIRE members within the Canadian community are staunch index investors that have a great diversified portfolio. In the last few months, they've admitted, and you know who I'm talking about, if you listen to the channel, I won't name names, but they went out and took some speculative investments in EARC, ARC, some of these ones that none of us would ever touch, but they're like, is it FOMO? Is it social media? It's just like, oh, they took a little flare on it. And we've talked about how much of your portfolio and all the rest of that stuff, but nobody's immune to this. Even people that are fired, that have a good plan, that have index funds are like, well, everybody's doing it.
That's the danger.
Everybody's doing it. Yeah. Everybody's drinking Drams for dividends.
How's the Bowmore?
Oh, the Bowmore's great. There's, as you can see, I didn't like it very much.
Don't you find Bowmore super smoky?
This isn't that bad.
Okay.
15 years, not super smoky.
Maybe, is there the Bowmore 10 as well then?
There's a cask strength that has a lot of heat to it.
That's the one that's like, a bit of an ashtray.
Yeah. It's got some, I'm going far down the loving the peat road now. So I'm on the dark side.
I got one for you because I'm near the bottom of my dram. I just thought I'd throw this out for the game. Tontine! You got to finish your drink. You got to finish your drink, boys. Oh, well, that's impressive. I guess I do too.
Good to talk to you, boys.
Happy Friday.
Happy Friday.
Hit the button, subscribe, leave us a message.